तू मेरा पिता, तू है मेरा माता, तू मेरा बंधप, तू मेरा भ्राता, तू मेरा राखा सबनी थाई तापो के हा काड़ा जियो तुमरी कृपा ते तुद पछाणा तू मेरी ओट तू है मेरा माणा तुझ बिन दूजा अवर न कोई सब तेरा खेल अखाड़ा जियो.
Welcome seekers to today's spiritual discourse titled What is Death and the Afterlife? The Karmic Court of Justice. I have with me East Asia's main speaker, who is an advanced spiritual practitioner and also a disciple of a perfect living master. Okay, let's begin this satsang with the very first question. Why do we know so little about the afterlife? When a loved one dies, I would like to know where he or she goes. What is it like on the other side?
The reason that we as humans know so little about afterlife because we not usually pay our attention what is happening after life, because we never actually invest our time to study about what happened after life, what's gonna happen, and the system of karmic justice that happen after life. Because a lot of human beings, we live our life in this illusion where we give full attention to our physical life and thinking that we're not gonna die, we're gonna live forever, because we have this feeling from our soul where we continue and live forever. But when we have this feeling and then we put that into the perspective of our human life is when things go wrong. Because human can only live maximum 100 years. And after that, we all have to go. We all have to leave this physical form. So Perfect Living Master taught us that we have to invest our time to learn to die while living. That's when we come to understand what actually happened after death, and we pre-study about that before the actual time of death comes, and we have preparation about what to come upon death. And the reason that we not hear or know what's happening to our loved ones after we die, because we still operate in the physical and put all our attention in our physical life, so we don't have the awareness of any other spiritual plane, any other level of awareness. That's why being human and only believe that we are human, we operate in very limited version of ourselves. So when that's happened, we don't know what happened after we die. We don't know where we go after we die. We don't even know about our loved one, how they, how they reincarnate, or how they go, how they come back in this life, because we don't have any knowledge of it. Perfect Living Master say to us, okay, we can teach you with our guidance and protection that you can meditate and learn the art die while living, where Perfect Living Master teach us how to withdraw our attention from this physical body, rehearse the method of dying, and see for ourselves. If we withdraw completely the awareness from this physical body, then at that time we awaken to the awareness of our astral body, and we will discover that this astral body have a life within itself, and this astral body live for 1,000 to 3,000 years. And after that, if we can withdraw our attention up again to another awareness, then we will come to know about our causal body that can live up to 3 million to 5 million years. And within this causal body can be born into different physical body, different astral body. So we come to know the secret, what's happening on the other side. And if we can withdraw our attention further to the next level of awareness as the soul, then we discover that, oh, the feeling that we have, that we feel that we can live forever, actually come from the soul. Because the soul never be born and never die. And once we discover the secret of our soul, then that's the first time that we truly have security within ourselves. We know what we are doing, we know where we are going, and we don't take this world or the physical death so seriously, because in a way we feel that we live forever. There's a beautiful story in India about Rama Maharishi. Upon his death, all the disciples around him was crying, his family member crying, say, oh, Master, don't leave us. What we gonna do if you're not here anymore? And Rama Maharishi just look at them and saying that, why you cry? Why you feel so sad? Where else could I go? Right? I'm only gonna shred my physical body. That's what he means. When someone already discover the secret of life forever as the soul that lives forever, then there's no coming or going anymore. So when we can have the knowledge of that state of the soul, then we can truly smiling on our deathbed, because we know where we are going, what is happening to us. And we don't have the fear of dying anymore, nor we have the fear of losing loved ones in our life anymore.
I know there are people who can access that information, but why is that most of us can't?
Because we still not doing previous homework of shifting our attention and awareness to know about what happened after death, about the punishment or reward that we're gonna face after death. So this is what happened for normal case, non-initiate. So after we die within 49 days, so the soul will, no, not the soul, the astral body of ourselves will travel to the sub-astral plane, where that is the overlap between the physical world and the astral world, and stay there for 49 days. And in some culture, they can stay for 100 days. And within that time, the we still can have communication or come to know what is still happening in the human world and as astral world as well. So the relative can still play to us, can still talk to us, can still offering good deeds to us. And after this 49 or 100 days, the astral self will be brought into the justice court, and the judge will be the Ramraj. And on both sides, I'm not sure in English or in Indian what they call, but in my Thai version they call Suwan and Suwan. So they will take care of the good deed, good deeds record and bad deed record, and then they're gonna read out the record. After these two records finishing, they will read the third record read out as well, which is the spiritual merit point. And this spiritual merit, it can help as a redeem from good deeds or bad deeds. Because let's say if they read out the good deed, they say, okay, you will have to reap the consequence of this good deed by being in heaven for 100 years. But by bad deed, you also have to go to hell for the 100 years, right? Where you want to go first, like Ishwaji said, do you want to go to heaven or you want to go to hell first? So this is unavoidable. So we cannot avoid this. We have to go to exact time that as written for us, as to go to heaven 100 years and to hell for the next 100 years, in total of 200 years. And after that, then we can be born again as another form, maybe into animal or into human life again. But the third account that they read out is very interesting. It is spiritual merit point. Accumulation of merit point where we seek the truth, where we seek our true identity, where we cry for the way out from the suffering, where we question about suffering, where we question about illusory of life. Then at that moment we earn spiritual merit point. And also when we come into the connection of the saint, just like we go to listen to Sach Khand of a perfect saint, perfect living master, we also earn a lot of spiritual merit point. And spiritual merit point can help us where we say, no, I don't want to go to heaven, I don't want to go to hell, I want another chance as human being. You can trade this spiritual merit in order for you not to experience hell, not to experience heaven, and go direct to human life again in order to become true seekers. So that can also happen in the justice court. But in initiate case, meaning you become the disciple of perfect living master during human life, because of initiation, master make promise that he or she gonna take care of us forever. He or she will help us in the justice court. So when we enter this justice court as initiate of perfect living master, master will stand right next to us as the lawyer, saying that no, this soul is within my care. You can't take this soul into your own punishment or reward account, because this soul has to continue to learn with me. So master will prevent all kind of punishment and reward in the after death for us. And right away, master will read our record on our spiritual merit point and bring us back into the physical life again to learn more on top of we already learned as a true seeker in previous life, and continue the journey of seeking the truth, seeking our true identity and awaken to the soul. So that's the privilege of become the disciple of perfect living master.
In many near-death experiences, you hear about people going through a life review, during which they experience all of the events of their life. They sometimes experience those events from the point of view of other people in their lives. It is, from most accounts, a positive learning experience. However, you never hear these near-death experiences talk about a karmic court of justice or having to look at the events of their life while being judged by a karmic court. In fact, sometimes these people report the life review to be a cathartic and helpful emotional experience. They usually go through this life review in the presence of a beautiful being of light who doesn't judge them. So the question is, why do these people tend to have these positive life review experiences, and why do they not experience going through the karmic court of justice to have their life judged there?
The Karmic Court of Justice are made from light. They are light beings. And it depends on the perception of the person, how this karmic court will manifest. Sometimes they will experience they talk to angels, deities. And in some culture they experience they talk to the Ramraj. So it's different. Near-death experience is also different case by case. Some near-death experience, they don't go that far. They only go to the sub-astral realm and not further into the astral realm of awareness where the justice court is. Sometimes they just have like a light reveal and then quickly coming back. But sometimes they also have light reveal, enter the court, getting judged, and then somebody in that court realize that, oh, it's not that time yet. Okay, coming back, put this soul into the physical body, give it another chance. You know, so this is not for us to understand. We have to look case by case what happened to that person as individuals. The karma, of this lower creation, how karma manifests It's very complex. If we invest our time and energy into understand karmic play, we will go crazy because it's so difficult to understand. But when we try to understand anybody karmic life, what happened after that, make sure that we learn the truth out of that. The Karmic Court of Justice is there. Do you think that this Karmic Court of Justice is not part of yourself? It's also part of ourselves. Try to judge ourselves of what we have done, because we are here as the soul, experience this creation in human life. And in this special human life, we have been given opportunity to learn, to seek the truth, to go back to the ultimate truth, our perfect reality, that we are the totality of consciousness, that we are God and we come from God. And if we fail to do that after death, another version of ourselves we judging us, whether it's manifest into devil form, angel form. It just depends of our own choice of perception at that time. Some even say that, oh, they've been judged by the central sun, not any particular being. So that's different from each and every one expectation what happened after life. But everything will be in the similar process where they will say, okay, did you live your life in a purposeful way of seeking the ultimate truth or not? Did you come here and fulfill all the purpose that you're supposed to fulfill, as you have to catching up, you have to collect useful experience to know that you too are God, that that go through this human life to learn one perspective of God. And by learning that, then we make our way back to merge back into our beloved Father, the Creator, that create all of these divine play, all of these illusion for us to enjoy. And if we fail to do that, instead of learning, instead of finding the truth, we end up to fall into the trap of attachment. Then, upon the time of death, we will be judged in this justice karmic court, where we say, oh, it's totally waste, this life go waste because you create so much attachment. Okay, let's clean you up a little bit. Whether you go to heaven, you go to hell, clean up a little bit, and then come back again. Learn the same lesson again. And we will say to ourselves, okay, this time, make sure to seek for help. There's somebody called Perfect Living Master. If you reborn again, make sure you find that perfect being in human form, just like you, so you can learn next time from human level who is God, what is God, what God can do, and try to find a way back to ultimate reality, the ultimate truth for yourself. Because God is all loving, God is kind, God always sends help into the physical form, because God understands that we cannot win our own attachment by using our own mind, our own character to win this. God, send us help And when we receive that help, when we open to that help, then we will not ever again have to enter this justice court, this karmic court again.
In some Sanmat literature, death is described for non-initiates as being a very horrible process. You hear, for example, that the process of death is comparable to being bitten by 1,000 scorpions. But in near-death experiences, most people don't describe it as a horrible process. Why is that?
Yeah, I have observed a lot of that. In my life, yeah, I see people upon their dying bed in two cases, but they're both non-initiate. The first one is my sister-in-law, and she had some kind of sickness. Because I was very young, I'm not understand what that kind of sickness is. It might be cancer or something like that. So upon that, she crying, she have horrible distress, feeling, and very scared. She very struggled to withdraw from the physical body. So I would say that yes, if the pain of 1,000 scorpion is real, I see that happening in front of my eye, and I think maybe because that person never invest her time to withdraw attention, to learn any kind of meditation, to invest her time to study what actually happened upon death or life after death. That's why, because of attachment to the physical body, and and the feeling that she didn't want it to end that way, so she really struggled upon that, and and cannot go peacefully. In another case was my uncle. He had heart problem, and slowly his body shutting down. But in this case, he also previously went to Buddhism temple, learned some kind of vipassana meditation. So upon his death, it's very peaceful day. He slowly go, upon the organ shutting down, and after that his heart, and after that he stopped breathing. So I feel unless we have preparation before we die, then the difference of the time of death, the pain and the struggle that we're gonna experience will be different. If they do homework before they die, they won't experience this 1,000 scorpion sting, right, upon death. And and if we have perfect living master taking care of us, we initiate and we become sincere disciple, meaning that we practice seriously in our life. We do our meditation regularly. We listen to satsang. We attend to satsang. We understand the teaching of the master, and we walk the footsteps of the saint. Before we die, master will come and inform us. Sometimes even 1 year before, 6 months before, 2-3 months before, 1 week or 2 weeks before. So we know, we prepare for our death to come. And at that time, we already work on our attachment. We can be totally detached. and then we can go peacefully, because we know afterlife. As we learn the art die while living already, we know afterlife, Master gonna be there, help and assist us, and then pull our soul back to our true home, where the soul coming from.
When many people die, they report seeing their mothers, fathers, grandparents, and other loved ones. Wouldn't many of these people have been reincarnated? Who is that they are seeing? Can we meet deceased relatives in the astral plane even if they have taken rebirth in the physical plane?
Yes, the memory that they also protection from ourselves. So this is what we expect to see upon we die. Then we will project that one, that loved one that already passed away, that we feel like, okay, now it's time to join them. But on the astral plane, we still have this kind of family relationship going on as well, as part of ourselves, being there at that time. And life over there as a family is longer than in this physical plane, because the life as relationship and family on astral plane can go on for many thousand years, but the life on this physical plane is only for not more than 100 years. So yes, we can have very similar setup here in the physical level and there in the astral level. But if we withdraw our attention higher, where we enter the realm of the mind, we will see that those characters also part of us that we project ourselves in variety of character, and learn to have human experience that way, that we project ourselves into different astral characters, different physical characters, just to learn. And if we withdraw our attention further to the soul level, we will feel that everything, including pets, dogs, cats, plants in our life, they are all part of ourselves as the soul as well. So by no coincidences, whatever we have been learning, the art of shifting awareness, whatever meditation, spiritual practice that we did, will make us understand more and more what's happening in the whole creation, more than the having only limited awareness of human form.
For initiates, when the master greets them at the time of death, will the initiate see the master in the form that they knew him or her in their physical life? Or does the form vary? Or does it depend on the person itself?
So we tend to have favorite one, you know. For example, some people will sometimes get initiation from different masters, but we tend to have our favorite. We love it. So at the time of death, our favorite master will appear and greet us at the time of death and helping us. But sometimes, if you get initiate from different master, for example, me, I'm get initiate from Ishwapuri. Supreme Master Ching Hai, and Baba Gurinda Singh Ji. So, might be one of them to come and greet me, or three of them come and greet me, or even better, or the path master, let's say Swamiji Maharaj, Great Master, Charan Singh, and Rabia de Basra, anyone, Kabir, for example, come and greet me too. Path Master, Present Master, or even Future Master. Why such thing happening? It also depends previously what you actually experience in your meditation, how much you raise awareness closer to the ocean of love. The closer you are, the less separation from God that you will experience. Then you will feel very peaceful if you have done your work, your homework spiritually a lot during the time of living. Then upon time of death, it will be like a wonderful feeling that finally you can let go of this separation and merge into oneness completely.
The masters often say that once you're initiated, you will have a maximum of 4 lives, after which you will not come back anymore. But once a disciple reaches Sach Khand or true home, there is no time or space. And if there is no time or space, and the Creator is always creating, doesn't that mean that the souls are always coming back into this creation?
The soul never going anywhere. There's no coming and going. As it say in Sach Khand, there's no time or no space. So the soul only project the awareness downward into the lower energy, lower manifestation of this creation called karmic realms of awareness. So upon project the awareness downward, the soul come into the characters and assume the character like us, and master give us the concept about the Hans and the Bund soul, special soul and ordinary soul. So the special soul as a Han will be the one who interest to project their awareness downward into the creation, just to have the experience what is like to be separate from God, what is like to be separate from the whole, what is like to become the lover and the beloved. So it is just the play of consciousness, of shifting of attention. But being in the human form is also strange too, because we can have that kind of perception of the Han soul, of the special soul, where we can shift our attention into the oneness, operate in oneness at every level at the same time. But at the same time, we also experience separation as the lover, or as the disciple, as the beloved, as the master at the same time. That's why this game always continue, because we cannot have too much fun, right? So we always want to have that exciting journey of, coming down and going back, coming down and going back. But remember, in no time, in Sach Khand, in our true home, there's no such thing as going or coming back. It's just the shifting of awareness downward and withdraw attention back. It's as easy as that. It's as, okay, maybe right now you might be in the living room. You imagine yourself to be in the kitchen. How much time it takes? It takes almost no time to imagine yourself there. And then you can imagine yourself back into the living room again. It's also almost no time, right, to do that. So it's the same as this hunt soul, as this special soul. They imagine themselves going, into the creation, experience the human life. And after that, they withdraw themselves back to the creator, to the true home again. But there's a catch, because upon enter the human physical life, we have to take on the karma of Ishwaji, our state as the DVD. We have to take on of this DVD. We have to take on the cover of the mind, the cover of the senses, and the cover of this physical body. And that's heavy for soul. And a lot of time it creates new attachment. When the soul go into the trap and happen to create new attachment, new karma, is when the process of withdraw attention back to where everything starts, to our true home, is difficult. That's why sometimes the life of the hunt soul, from we only come to experience one lifetime, it gets extended into 2 lifetime, 3 lifetime, or 4 lifetime because of the attachment. But the hunt soul, the special soul, know very well when we come here into this game of illusion, we will get trapped. That's why the hunt soul, the special soul, always asks the security to meet with perfect living master, to have a token that when we are in the illusion and get tangled in the karmic web, we will place the way out, the reminder, as our another self, which is directly from God. But this another self of us is different, because he or she, as a perfect living master, will have awareness, the total awareness of every level at the same time. They hold the map of the creation within their consciousness. So when they operate in the character just like us, they don't have any attachment. And also they will teach us and remind us also not to get attached to anything except the real essence of God, which is truth, love, joy, and happiness. And then they will teach us, there's a method of doing meditation. Withdraw your attention to the wisdom eye level, the wisdom eye center. And then after that, you discover the whole creation again and learn how to shift your attention back step by step, slowly, to go back to your true home. But this happening, does it happening outside ourselves? No, everything is happen within oneness, within this ocean of love. The ocean does project itself into the drop mode, and this drop will also have to learn to be the ocean again. And this process doesn't need to wait to happen upon time of death. No, it can happen in our daily life. We can learn the art of shifting awareness up, into the level of our true home by come into the connection of perfect living master, because they carry this ability to awaken us from inside and also give out the effects of awakening to our outside life as well. That's why they say to us, okay, do meditation, keep precept, don't drink, don't eat meat, don't take on drugs, don't gossip, spend your time, contemplate inside and get closer and closer to the truth. This precept is just the indication that when you come in touch with your true self, you will transform into a saintly being. It's not that they put rules and regulation there as okay, you have to follow or else if you not follow, you're not doing this precept, we're not gonna take you back home. It's not like that. The fact that we are seekers, we are seeker of the truth, and the truth already manifests in our life as a perfect living master is the guarantee that within that lifetime we can go back, we can shift our awareness, go back to our true home, or to within the 4 lifetime maximum we will go back. And I have just had very interesting conversation with a brother here about we only come into this creation one time, and within that one time we going back. And he asked me, what do you mean that one time? Does it mean it contain 1 lifetime? It contain 4 lifetime? I said yes. One time can mean 100 years or 400 years. It's not different because the soul, as one time of the soul, it happened in no time. And it's because when the soul come down and depend on the level of new karma or new attachment it made. If it made a lot of new attachment, take this karmic life very seriously. Yes, to undo it, it takes time. Sometimes it takes 400 years to do that. It takes 4 lifetimes to do that. But sometimes it's very easy. It can take 1 minute, it can take 10 years. To some of the disciple of perfect living master to do that. And it's also interesting conversation where we say, for the hunt soul to join this creation, it have to select a DVD. And within this DVD, when we step into the DVD of the karmic play, the karmic character, all of the previous good deed and bad deed of this person will also become our own, right? But actually, the Han soul or the special soul will enter this play upon the time that our seeking is intense. Let's say I said to the brother here, like, oh, you start seeking about the ultimate truth in the year 2014. Is that right? He said, yes. But what about my life previous that? Because he said he born in 1980 something. So he asked me, does it mean that my 20, 30 years of life previous the year of 2014 is a lie and I'm not live that life? I said, no. Yes, that's part of illusion. That the hunt soul or the special soul not actually live that kind of life. You only live this life when you become true seekers. And this is the most exciting time. That's why the hunt soul or special soul want to join this evolution of soul, evolution of awareness, to learn or to enter the game where we can learn the shifting of awareness, we can learn to have different awareness at the same time within the creation. Learn from the perspective of character instead of being God and with God. So we project ourselves down, become true seeker, meet with perfect living master because we already made the deal from our true home that when we coming down as a true seeker, make sure the truth reveal itself in the physical form for us to recognize that perfect truth too as a perfect living master. So this is not a bad deal. So when you become true seeker, you get initiation from perfect living master. The rest of your life, just enjoy. Enjoy this wonderful creation. Enjoy everything around you, good or bad. No judgment. Good experience, enjoy. Bad experience, enjoy it too. Because from the soul perspective, it's all illusion, and we gonna go back. We guarantee to go back. Once we are true seeker, there's no way that truth will not find us. The truth will come and find us. And and we only participate this play only one time, only within this 4 lifetime, and then we go back, to enjoy the bliss in our true home again. Then people will ask me, yeah, but why we should to come into this suffering at the first place? We choose to come to enjoy this good or bad, suffering or happiness here in the human form because we know it's just illusion. Like Ishwapuriji said, it's like we go to amusement park, have the experience of all the rides there, up and down, the excitement of that. And at the end of the day, we coming back home. And who gonna tell us, okay, that's enough now. You have all the enjoyment now. Come back home. It's perfect living master. God personally come down, project himself down to call us back home. Because he know that, as the soul, sometimes we can get trapped. Sometimes we cannot win this karmic web. We entangle ourselves in it. So God made sure that he sent somebody to undo all the entanglement for us and then bring us back home. It's as simple as that.
Do PLMs ever reincarnate themselves? Since they reach the fifth plane beyond any sense of time and place and become the ocean, is there any sense in which they as individual souls would ever come back to this physical plane?
Perfect living master never leave because never they as a perfect being, suppose they're perfect, it means they not operate in time or space. So they never reborn and they never die. They only take on the character with full awareness of every level at the same time. So there's no coming or going for them. But let's say, if perfect living master that we know, like Sant Ishwapuriji, has died, if people ask me, oh, did he coming back? No, he's not going anywhere. No, he leave the creation. He's still here. But we cannot see, we cannot contact with him because our attention is not raised to the level of unconditional love that he represents yet. That's why for us it seems like he's still coming and going in our experience. But once we raise our awareness to that unconditional love, that divine love, then we will discover that Sant Ishwapuriji never go. He's still here. And it's just, the art of shifting awareness to come to know about this. Will another PLM will reincarnate again? Will as the character of Ishwapuri will come back again? No, that character already expired. It's already finished the purpose and it's already reached the final destination, which is the true home. So that character would not come back. But as the being of a perfect living master, they come back. They always here. They never leave. So before perfect living master will leave his physical body, he always transfer this responsibility of saving soul, of awakening or enlighten another character. He always makes sure that he transfer this responsibility to another one, to another character that's in the play. So perfect living master never leave. They always live inside this creation as long as they are true seekers. As long as people still crying to raise above this suffering, still crying to know the truth, still, searching for the truth, still searching for true love, there will always be perfect living master here in the creation on the human level with us to help us.
People who have near-death experiences often report seeing their physical body from above, from about a few meters away, often from the ceiling or from a corner of the room. The shift in their awareness seems involuntary. Why do people see their bodies from above? What determines the point of view from which they experience their own bodies?
Within this physical body, there are astral bodies and there are causal bodies. And this astral and causal body is very light, it's not heavy. So sometimes when we withdraw our attention from this physical body, whether in the event of near-death experience or in meditation, we will experience that we see our physical body from the ceiling point of view, from the above point of view. Thus, firstly, the astral body is slightly bigger than the physical body. And secondly, the weight, the karmic weight that is not pull it down, it's lighter. So it will look as if it float up above from our physical body. And it's create the point of view of, the astral plane from above to down below to this physical plane. That's why in some of the meditation session that Ishwapuriji conduct, he will suggest that we are doing astral flying. Is that real flying? No, we're not going anywhere. We only shift our attention to the ability of the astral body in the astral level and enjoy the experience of the body become slightly light and be able to float, be able to fly, be able to see something from the higher perspective.
Do initiates have their own court of justice, especially those that have not fulfilled their spiritual obligations in their current lives? How does Master decide the fate of the disciples if they have to be reborn again? Will Master also have to be reborn?
Okay, there's many set of mini questions in these questions. So no, the first answer about do initiate have their own court of justice? No, we don't. Master judging us, upon when we leave this physical body and what to do next. Master will judge us by, they will read our sanskar, the attitude that we have been collect. And this attitude that we have been collect, when we have experienced this human life, it will go into the spiritual merit account, because these sanskar, these spiritual merit, it belongs to great system. I previously said that when Master give us initiation, he or she unplug us from karmic system and plug us in the great system. So after Master accept us to be his or her disciple, we already belong to the great system. But sometimes we half operate in karmic system because we still believe this world to be real. We still want to use our free will and ignore Master will, ignore God will, and want to be in charge of our life. So at that time, you operate into three systems and have some confusion, like, oh, whether I operate in great system or I operate in karmic system. So because of that attachment, because of believe this human life to be real, Master have to extend the life of initiate into many lifetimes in order to undo this, in order to undo all the attachment. So when Master read out the spiritual merit point or the sanskar record, then Master will determine, okay, right, you have very less attachment. Maybe I'm gonna put you in the inner spiritual school just for a while, and then after that, you can go back. You can go back to our true home. Just a little bit clean up, then you go up. But in some case, it's so difficult to go through a small clean up. So Master say like, okay, let's have another human life then, in order to make a rapid progress. Because within the human life, we can exercise our free will that in alignment of the God will. Try to recognize God will and try to exercise our free will to match with God will. So it's easier for us to make progress within human life. So, for example, if the physical master that gives us initiation in this physical lifetime has died, for example, a lot of people asking me because Ishwar Puriji already left his physical body and not here with us anymore in the physical form, but we younger than him, we still continue our life here. If we mess up, will Master have to come back again, reborn again, and taking care of us? Like I said in the previous answer, Master never leave. Master just transfer this responsibility of helping, another, the disciple or another truth seekers that mark to come to another character. They just transfer to the character is already there, as a living being to become a perfect living master and help all of the disciples out. Whether they know it or not know it, it doesn't matter. Seva is seva. Duty and responsibility is something that we have to fulfill. Whether we have, whether we like it or not, whether other people accept what we are doing or not, we still have to carry that out because it's the responsibility that give us giving to that person by a perfect living master. So that have to be fulfilled. So the help will continue from the same master, but in different way, beyond our expectations sometimes. So master never leave us. Master is also inside and master is also outside. This is the concept of perfect living master, because they have to help us from the physical level, they have to help us in astral level, causal level, Param level, until we reach our true home. So the help is always there, available 24/7 if we reaching out.
That's it for today's satsang. Thank you, main speaker, for spending time with us for this satsang. If you want more information about ISTA Asia, please go to www.istaasia.com. You can also subscribe to our newsletter and email us any inquiries you may have regarding spirituality. You can also send your questions to seek.istaasia.com. Thank you for listening.